Hi guys, my name is Brendan Lawless and I work for IBM as an ethical hacker. And basically what I'm going to do is I'm just going to give you kind of a day-to-day of my life and as I'm working there, what I do. And as well as that, I'm going to kind of talk to you just IBM in case you don't know who it is. So let's get cracking. Basically, I work for IBM. If you don't know already, they employ 100,000 people around the world. They have an office on every continent and an office in almost every country around the world. So there is a job, regardless of what your degree is, most likely for you somewhere in IBM. And regardless of what your background is, I know there's probably a lot of science people based on what people are saying here today. So if you're kind of feeling that maybe some of it wasn't relevant to you, there's definitely something somewhere in IBM that relates to what you're studying, and they're definitely looking for people from all sorts of crazy different backgrounds to fill those roles. In terms of cool inventions and stuff like that IBM has done, they made things, they contributed to like the LASIK eye surgery, things like the barcode and so on, and a cool thing called Watson, which was artificial intelligence. And that takes a lot of people, a lot of smart people from a lot of different backgrounds, not just techie guys, although I don't want to undersell their contribution to make those things. So I'm going to talk a bit about myself. Where did I come from? I went to the Institute of Technology in Blanchardstown, and it's literally right beside one of IBM's offices. And I didn't even know IBM was there until my final year when I was graduating, which is probably a lot like some of you who are sitting here. You don't even know where the companies are that you're probably going to be working for in a couple of months' time. So through there, it was a great college, and I really had a good time there. And I kind of found out about security when I was attending there. And gave me a great insight into what it was about, and I thought, this is really cool. I'd love to be a part of this. It moves at such a pace that it might keep me interested. And when I said I work as an ethical hacker, I kind of want to explain what does that mean. So there are kind of two types of hackers. There's an ethical hacker whose job it is to look at applications, test them, make sure they're secure, find out problems, report on them in a responsible way, and get those problems fixed so that everyone's information stays secure and protects your and my money, basically, at the end of the day, data and information. And then there's black hat hackers. And that term basically means the bad guys, organized crime, even could just be kids downloading tools and firing them off. Now, these are basically the bad guys, and the term originates from cowboy movies where white hat hackers wore white hats and black hat guys are bad guys wore black hats, and that just made it easier for us all to tell who was who when we were watching movies. So in my day-to-day, I basically test predominantly web applications to find problems, and I work with developers who make these applications, and I find issues, and I work with them, and we talk through things, and we get problems resolved after I find them. You guys have talked a lot about failure today. When you work as a hacker, a lot of the time you're struggling to find a problem with something, and you're really, really, really looking for this tiny little speck. And once you find that, you kind of expand on it. You try to make it a much bigger problem, and then to gain awareness, and then leverage it so that you gain awareness over why that needs to be fixed and why it's a problem. So it's fun from that regard. As well as doing that in my day-to-day, I also get to do really cool events like today, and I get to travel around to colleges. Like I was in DCU, this picture is from 3 weeks ago, where we went out and we do these workshops with students, and we make them aware of security. How I found out about the security team in IBM that I'm actually a part of now was these guys, the team I'm on now, turned up in my class and did this session, and I thought, this is really cool, I'd love to get into this. And now I've come full circle. So they come out, they do like a talk, and then we do a workshop where we get them to play a fun game where they do these challenges and they learn about security and different types of common attacks and how to protect against them, so that when they're making their final year projects, they can put in stuff and like a chapter about security, because maybe they're only finding out about it just like I did in their final year, and they're thinking, wow, I'd really love to move into this. And just like you guys, if you're coming towards, maybe your projects are done and you're thinking, this is cool, I'd like to get into it, but I'm almost done. How do I add relevance to myself about it? It's fairly straightforward. You could just look at how security relates to either a project you're doing or whatever you're researching, and add a piece in. In terms of how do you actually get into security, it's fairly straightforward. Most people wouldn't normally just be hired straight into a job unless it was from a graduate position, which means you're in a good place. But at the same time, you need to kind of know about these organizations such as OWASP, who publish this list called the OWASP Top 10. This is a list of the most common vulnerabilities. If you know about them, that's great, because in a couple of months' time, you could be sitting across the table looking at me, and I'm going to ask you, what are they? And some of them are very technical. And if you can explain them back to me, then I know you know your stuff. And as well as that, there's IRIS, which are a great organization that help to really, has about with crime and reporting in Ireland and cut down on the bad guys. And then there's a group called the Honey Net. And their general goal is to run these events, a bit like the college ones that I was talking about before that IBM runs. And they provide events for the likes of OWASP and Iris, and where we train security professionals and give them a chance to show their skills. So I talked about white hat and black hat hackers. A white hat hacker has this opportunity to show his mettle at an event like this that the Honey Net would run, say, where we've got a world map and each country is a server and a team gets to attack a server, and when they get it, the country changes to their color, and we've got global kind of thermonuclear war going on, and it's all really cool, and everyone has a great time. And at these events, all your future employers, if you're interested in security, are walking around going, looking and saying, who wants a job? So if you want to get into security, the best way is to go to these events. The Honey Net has quarterly meetings. OWASP have meetings as well. Iris too, that's actually a picture from Iris's conference last year. And so if you're looking in for a job in security, either as a hacker or a penetration tester, as it's sometimes called, these events are the best way to get to know all the guys who are looking for people, because at the moment it's moving at a phenomenal rate. The one thing I will add is that you guys definitely, or most of you I would assume, are in your final year, or you're close to it. Think about security in relation to what you're working on, how you might apply to it if I've caught your attention today, and how you might apply it. It's definitely a lot of ways it can apply to your everyday job. In terms of IBM, they're literally looking for people from all kinds of backgrounds. You might not think there's a job that makes sense for you. I started out as an ICT, and which is kind of their overbearing term for any kind of position. And so have a look at it. It's great fun, and it's great to work there. And I wish you the best of luck in your exams, guys. Thank you.